Hey everyone, just wanted to give you an update on our vegetable jungle. It's August 24th, and even though I built raised beds and pavers and walkways and all that stuff, it took over. The cherry tomatoes won again, but they're the best weed to have. So, if you remember this spring, I was working on building raised beds out of cedar. I dug down like 2 foot deep and put logs and all kinds of hugel stuff in there. So I built 4 beds and I built walkways, and where this screen is still here, I've never picked it up. There's supposed to be 2 more beds, but I kind of lost steam. It got hot into the summer and I gave up for now. But we have cherry tomatoes everywhere as usual. They're really insane. These are our San Marzanos that we're going to be canning, so hopefully soon I'll be picking those. And then over here we have a sweet potato vine. Alexis threw in some sweet potatoes in this bed and they just took over and went crazy. They totally engulfed everything all around it, even the walkway on both sides. So we have some peppers here. These are some cherry peppers, and then some basil over there. Cilantro is about done. And then we have 2 San Marzano beds, that one and this one. And this was our onion and beet bed. So over here we have all the beets that we have just not pulled. And oh my God, that is crazy how big that is. Wow, these really need to be picked. Whew. Okay. And over here we have what's supposed to be a walkway, but that's been engulfed by tomato plants. You can see all those little cherries in there. And then we have our patio, and this has some different kinds of mint on it. And Alexis planted in these little pots around it, but once again the walkways got taken over by tomatoes. And these are our blue creamberry tomatoes. And then over here, this is our strawberry bed, which you probably saw in the spring, but right now it's growing black cherry tomatoes, which is where I started some of those a couple of years ago, and they just went crazy. And over here we have our nectarine trees that Alexis keeps trimming. They're doing really well. We had a whole bunch of nectarines on them, but they slowly fell off one by one, and I don't know if there are any left. Maybe the animals got them all, so that was a little disappointing. So that's the main garden area. And then in that brick bed over there, we have 1 bean plant up there on the trellis that I made. And then over here we tried planting some zucchini. We planted some potatoes, which we dug up. Some of them, we didn't dig them all up yet. That's where we had the kale. So I'll probably plant some more kale there before too long. Because that bed stayed really warm and our kale survived over winter. So that was kind of cool to have kale first thing in the spring. This is our blueberry patch where there are random blueberry plants, but they've been taken over by cherry tomatoes, so they're just everywhere. But you can see right there is a blueberry. Over here we have another blueberry right there, and there's some random ones intermixed here. Right down there's a cranberry, and then cherry tomatoes everywhere. And then here's our weeping cherry, which is Margot's little fort. Here's our apple trees, or some of our apple trees, and our 1 apple. 3 seasons we've had these apple trees, and we have one apple to show for it. These are 3 more apple trees, and those are 3 pear trees. And in front of it, of course, more cherries. And across the way, more cherries. And then back there next to the breezeway, you can't really see it, but we have more cherries back there too. And then the walkway through here, more cherry tomato plants. There's cherries everywhere. Here's our blueberry, or these are raspberries. These ones are my grandfather's. My dad took them from my mom's father and planted them, and we took some and keep transplanting them. So those do really well in the spring. And over here, and they're spreading out, the 2 of them. This one's another variety that I'm not positive of, but this one actually is doing some fruiting right now. So that's doing pretty good right now. And these ones are good. Yeah, they're both really good. In this area is an area that I was going to try to keep as a junk area and store tools and stuff, but we decided, since it's south facing, I got convinced to turn it into a growing area. So Alexis bought a bunch of shrubs and different things that we're planting here. We put a walkway, but like there's some gooseberries, and I think that's gooseberry. And there's another one of the things over here. She made a whole plan. I don't remember what they all are off the top of my head, but of course cherry tomatoes came in and took over the whole area, and I don't even remember planting any cherry tomatoes out here. So right now we're trying to keep the deer out, so we haven't finished this area off. We're gonna fence this in and put a gate, so that this area will be kind of its own thing, but we want to try to figure out how to make it deer resistant. And then here's a cucumber plant, I think, that took over our garbage area. So that was kind of cool because it hid some stuff that I wasn't ready to get rid of yet. I have some stuff to bring to metal recycling. But I don't see any flowers on it, so either the deer are eating them, but it actually grew up into the carport. So that thing is going pretty crazy. And then this is our front yard area that you've seen before. This is just flowers.